Yes. I'm just gonna let you guys know I'm a horrible public speaker. So thank you in advance for humoring me. Today we're here to spread awareness of childhood cancer. We're here to give our children a voice. Unfortunately, the kids that we're here fighting for aren't old enough to vote. A lot of them won't have the luxury of becoming old enough to vote. This is why it is our responsibility as parents, aunts, uncles, grandparents, as a society, to stand for them. We need change, we need action, and we need it now. Our children need better treatments. They need a cure. We're losing our future. I hate statistics and I hate numbers because these children have names. The children that we lose have names. Paxton, Jamie, Sarah, Brandon, John David, Christopher, Savannah. These kids matter, and they deserved better. So I'm asking each and every person to start holding our state and government officials responsible. You want our vote? What are you going to do for our kids? I'm not asking everyone to be as passionate as I am. I'm just asking you to do something. Some of the facts that you think you know about childhood cancer are not true at all. First of all, childhood cancer is not rare. And I know earlier I mentioned that I hate statistics, but I do use them to educate. For example, every day, worldwide, we lose 250 children to cancer. That's 91,250 a year. A year. That's how many kids we're losing a year. Every 3 minutes worldwide, a child is diagnosed with cancer. Yet the last drug that was developed for our children was 30 years ago. Cancer is the #1 disease killer of our children. Yet despite all of this, childhood cancer still receives less than 4% of U.S. federal funding for cancer research. That's not less than 4% per cancer. They lump all childhood cancers together. There are over 12 different major types of childhood cancer and over 100 subtypes. All of those together get less than 4% of our funding. Another fact, 80% of children diagnosed with cancer survive. Wrong. 80% of children survive the first 5 years. Long-time survival rate drops to 66%. By the age of 45, 98% of survivors suffer from chronic health conditions related to cancer or the treatments they received while trying to beat cancer. Over the last 20 years, childhood cancer diagnoses have increased by 29%. Are you guys mad yet? Because I am.
Well, yeah. Yes, we're angry.
Don't get me wrong. I understand things take time. I understand that we have to wade through red tape and regulations. I know that we can't all just hop onto a plane and go to Washington and demand action. We're too broke from trying to take care of these kids and fighting for their lives. But we can start here, in our front yard, in Arkansas. We need hometown support. We need to support our hospitals. We need to support our local charities. We have to be the change that we want to see. And I'll be completely honest with you guys, I'm tired of being understanding. We've got some great speakers here today. First one is going to be Mr. Bill Rayner. He's actually the president of the Arkansas Punishers LEMC 7th Sons chapter. They're one of our biggest supporters. So please help me welcome Mr. Bill Rayner.
Good job.
Looks like there might be some more supporters showing up. So if you would, let's just take a couple of minutes, let them get parked. Because we definitely welcome all the supporters that we can get. Right?
Woo! Major wreck on 530.
There's a big wreck on 530.
I-30.
I-30. It'll probably take them a few minutes to get parked, so we'll go ahead and I'll get started with my little piece. First of all, I am honored to be here. Honored to be here today. Honored to be in front of so many heroic people. The survivors, the warriors in this fight. Have been fortunate for the last couple of years to know Brandy and to know some of the parents and some of the children. I know whenever our organization met the Heroes and Angels, I believe it was while I was out of country, and my wife and some of the other Punishers, Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club, happened to come out and support you when you were doing an awareness campaign there in BB.
All the way from Chicago.
We had one of our members, which is actually crazy. He rode down from Chicago, Illinois, Gray, and you know, he's from Chicago. He's got that Chicago attitude, and he's stubborn. And I have to admit, I think that he was coming down this way anyway. But whenever he heard about what you were doing, he wanted to be a part of it. And unfortunately, he can't be here today. But those are the kind of members, of course, that we like to have. We like to have those that go out and support those organizations such as Heroes and Angels, and all those that, you know, even though you didn't enlist into this war, you're in it anyway. And so we applaud you for your courage. Like I said, I am honored to be here. I'm a nobody. I'm here to support the families. They're beautiful children. They're awesome kids. Let's take a minute to give them a hand, if you would. It's about them. It's about the kids, but it's also about the families. And if you'll bear with me, I'll explain what I mean. And this is just through my observations from someone who is a bystander. I personally don't have any children of my own. Those of you who know me know this. I'm 46 years of age. I probably won't have any children of my own. So I've never known the trials or the grief or some of the, to be quite honest, the utter despair that some of you have known. I also haven't known the love and the joy that you are fortunate enough to have from those little beautiful kids that call you mommy and daddy. And I know that y'all hold on to that every day. In any case, you're probably wondering, what on earth could I know about these battles that these families face? And the truth is, I know absolutely nothing. There's no way that I could. It would be like me telling a Vietnam veteran, hey buddy, I know exactly what you're talking about. There's no way. I couldn't. We may have similar experiences, but I don't know what that veteran is going through. I don't know what these families are going through. So again, I won't even pretend to. With that said, I'd like to address those in the crowd that are like me. Those who have fortunately never had to face this demon called cancer, and more specifically childhood cancer. Those who have never had a child diagnosed with this horrible disease. I want to address those that even though they're fortunate, they still want to do what they can. And they still want to help you in your fight, in your battles, even if it's nothing more than supporting you and saying, look, we care. you're not in this by yourself. Yes, you are the tip of the spear. You're the special forces of your unit. But you're not in this by yourself. You have support. And please don't forget that. Now, with that said, and if you will, bear with me, and you'll understand where I'm going with this. I'm a soldier. I have been for almost 28 years. Now, how many people here have veterans or current serving soldiers, Marines, Air Force, sailors in your family? Quite a few of you, right? And some of you served yourself. Now, you may understand this. Soldiers, Marines, airmen, all of them, all of our service members, their number one job is to train for war, to train for combat their entire life. And oddly, we seldom see it, if ever. Yet, we like to think we're prepared for it. It's something we enlisted in. It's something we volunteered for. But we really don't know if we're ready for it unless we're ever called up to fight. And we hope that we will be. Now, regardless if we've ever fought in a war or not, we're fortunate as service members at this time in history to have the support of the majority of American citizens. And it's very important to us that we do. And I'm ashamed to say that in your war, you unfortunately do not yet. You know, some of these people out here in the crowd and those out there in the general public, even though they've never served in the military, they still support, even though they don't know the hardships that some of our members have faced or the demons that they carry with them, or even the survivor's guilt. And that's something that both of our groups commonly share. Would you agree? It's real. Now, why do I say all this? This isn't a rally to support our veterans. Well, the truth is, we don't need a rally. We have the support from the general public. And again, I know how important that can be. These families that are here today, again, they're fighting a different kind of war. And in this war against childhood cancer, they're the soldiers, they're the brave ones, they're the special forces. And they didn't even ask to be, but they're there. They're the warriors. They're the ones who have given their all. And when they've given that, they find the courage to give more. They're the ones who never give up. Woo! Because they can't give up. They know that someone needs them. That their children find strength in them. And that they find strength in each other. And even when these families, these parents, feel weak, they have to dig deep and find the intestinal fortitude to appear strong. Because again, someone depends on them. They are the warriors. In this war, I know absolutely nothing. And I admit that. I'm the ignorant civilian. With that said, I will tell you something that I do know about. Wars are fought on several fronts. On one front, you have the combatants that are engaging the enemy directly. In this war, that's fighting the cancer daily. On another front, you have to gain the support of what we would call combat multipliers or assets. In this case, that would be the politicians who can pass legislation to fund research to beat this damn enemy. You also have to win the hearts and minds of the indigenous populations by spreading the message that you want them to hear so that they'll get behind your cause. In this case, that would be the awareness campaigns, the rallies, the press releases, the Comic Cons, everything that you do to spread awareness so that ignorant people like me might understand a little bit better. Awareness campaigns, they're very important, as you know. They bring not only donations, but also volunteers. And let me tell you that one thing a warrior definitely understands is that there's strength in numbers. Organizations, again, like Heroes and Angels, have done a wonderful job. They have done a wonderful job. If it wasn't for that organization, I would have never known about it. I would have never known about your struggles. And like we were talking about earlier, I would have just kept flipping the channel. One thing that I do want to tell you to the families is that you do not have to, and you will not fight this war alone. That I promise you. Believe me when I tell you this. Our organization and numerous others like us support you. We believe in you. We believe in your cause. We believe in your children. We love you. And we will continue to help you where we can. Although we're ignorant to your particular battles, we are inspired by you. And believe it or not, you give us strength. Again, you and your children are the true warriors, but even the most hardened warrior needs a support system. I guarantee you. To the parents and the families, I humbly salute you and your wonderful, beautiful children. May God bless you and continue to give you strength. And by His grace, may we defeat this enemy together. Thank you for your time.
Gotta get the hugs. Oh, we're taking Katie though.
You guys may notice I have a really cool little tag-along buddy here. This is Keegan. He is actually one of our heroes.
Woo!
He's pretty awesome. And I see Iron Man has shown up here too. In case some of you didn't know, Iron Man fights with us also. Hi.
Hi.
My name is Keegan.
Hi, Keegan.
He's done. He's saying a few words, but they're powerful. So up next, we are actually going to have Keegan's mom, Robin. She's going to come and talk to you guys for a few minutes. So please help me welcome Robin.
I'm not the public speaker, by the way. Like, I'm the one that writes everything. I don't speak. I'm really not good at it. But I'm Robin Burklow. Everybody kind of knows me as Keegan's mom or Jackson's mom. That's totally okay with me. did write a few notes down because I procrastinate. We are all here today because pediatric cancer has impacted every one of us out here somewhere. Whether it's your child, someone else's child, a child that is now like your child, it's impacted you in some way. Every year we beg and plead for funding to increase, for people to become more aware of this epidemic that is killing our children every day. Families are losing their kids, siblings are losing their brothers and sisters, and it has to stop. I have tons of people every year ask me, how can we make a difference? What can we do to change things? Where do we need to donate? I'm not trying to bash anybody here at all, but we have to get the word out that some of these pediatric cancer hospitals aren't doing exactly what they're telling you they're doing. Every single day they are turning away a kid. We have to start raising awareness for where your money is going, where your research money is going, and how it is affecting kids every single day. These kids are our future. We can't risk losing another child, a brother or sister losing another sibling, a grandparent losing a grandchild. We just can't do it. Our kids deserve more than 4% funding. Thanks. That's it.
I'm coming, sorry.
Okay, our next speaker is Miss Shannon. Shannon is actually Savannah's mama. So she's got stuff she wants to talk about us today too.
Those of you holding her banner, could you come up here, please?
It's an honor to speak. This world, I've known Robin since before Keegan was born. I knew it existed, but before we were involved, I really knew nothing about it. And of course, as I said, my name is Shannon Westover. My husband is Richard Westover. Savannah was 13 when she was diagnosed. We also have an amazing son. I think he's right up there. His name is Austin Westover. He's 7. Savannah was a very athletic girl at age 13. She ran on the track team. She was trying out for the dance team. She was a normal kid. She loved animals. She was involved in rescues. She rescued over 100 dogs, 7 ducks, and a horse. She volunteered at several ranches and spay-neuter clinics, shot clinics. She did a lot for the community. And when she was doing her tryouts, she told us that her hip hurt. Well, I did cheer many years ago, and I knew that when we were in our rooms waiting to try out, that the whole room smelled like Bengay. So we took her to the doctor just in case, but of course they told us that she had a sprained hip. So we took that. They said that it takes about a month to heal. So we understood that. There was a lot of Epsom salt baths and a lot of pain, a lot of crying. She'd been known to be a little dramatic, so it was hard to tell what was part of the drama and what was real. But it was every single night, and it was hard. And so we decided to go to the next phase and take her to an orthopedic doctor. And that orthopedic doctor said we're going to send her to some PT because she obviously had some trouble, but they wanted to do an MRI. So we started PT. She couldn't even do the PT because it was too painful. Again, we didn't know what was, part of her being dramatic or not. And they did the first MRI, and they contacted us before the appointment, the follow-up appointment, and said we found a lesion on her pelvis. We don't believe it to be cancer, but we want to do an MRI with contrast. I said, okay. So we did that one that very same night. They contacted us back and said she's got a tumor on her left pelvic bone. We don't believe it's cancer, but we're sending you to Arkansas Children's Hospital to the orthopedic cancer surgeon. Now, mind you, every parent always, you know, we Google, we do all this, and, you know, naturally our brains go to the worst, but everybody's like, don't think the worst, it's never the worst. It's never the worst, you know. So we go to that appointment. I went to work, I'm a hairdresser, and I did my first appointment, and then I went to that appointment. And Savannah was in there, and wonderful doctor took me to a separate room to look at these scans, and he said questions nobody's ever said to me, like, do you see a difference in these scans? Do you see what I see? Do you see how this bone? Yes? Do you know what we do here? Do you know what kind of office this is? And I felt like he was trying to prepare me for something. Now, mind you, this is a normal child, athletic, doing all this stuff, and I feel like he's trying to prepare me for something. So she was admitted for pain management, and the following day given a biopsy. That biopsy, they didn't even have her closed up before they called my husband and I in to tell us preliminary diagnosis, osteosarcoma, bone cancer. It hit hard. How could this be? What do we do? And then we didn't know anything about osteosarcoma. You know, what do we know about this? So we went home with that. May 3rd, my husband's and my anniversary, we got our final diagnosis and started standard therapy, which we found out that osteosarcoma is normally found in the long bones of the arms and the hip. Savannah was a rare case because hers was in the pelvic bone, also the sacrum and the L5. After going back and forth several hospital trips, hospital stays, we found out she was inoperable. She had sciatic nerve pain, bone pain, and muscle pain, all tied together, the worst pains imaginable and the hardest pains to control. She's been on everything you can name off. We tried, we went through, you know, anything. They did, you know, we were turned down by St. Jude's several times because St. Jude is a research-only hospital, and the way it works is if they don't have a study fitting the criteria your child is in at that moment, then you don't qualify. But if they do, and you do qualify, you have to fit the standard of care, that every element that they ask for. And even if you did, you have to live there, move there, finish that trial, and go home. There's no follow-up care. There is no what's the next step from here. Arkansas Children's Hospital follows up their care every step of the way. They know what's next. They know what they're going to do. And they did that for Savannah. They knew what the next step was. When standard MAP therapy didn't work, that was adriamycin, known as the Red Devil, cisplatin, and methotrexate. Savannah with methotrexate, toxic. She's not the only little kid out here that's done that. Keegan's done it as well. Bailey did it too. Savannah and Keegan were two of the 3 children that received a $52,000 medication to rebound them from this methotrexate toxicity. All of these trials, Savannah's cancer room, we had to move her to etoposide and ifosfamide. Her cancer had spread to her other pelvic bone. She had lung mets. Later on, Savannah lost mobility. We thought she had a blood clot, but it was her tumor growing. She'd received radiation simply for pain management. Her mobility started going more and more. She received LFOs. She was in a wheelchair, and she went down to a electric wheelchair. We had to fight for her last drugs. I had to use state representatives, the insurance commission, the president's office of Blue Cross Blue Shield, because they deemed Savannah's chemotherapy medication unnecessary because she was too young and it would only provide 2 more months of life. They thought that was unnecessary and she didn't deserve it. I disagree.
So do I.
She got that medication. I pushed and I won. And I plan on continuing to push for all of our kids, because 2 months doesn't matter the age. 2 months is enough to know that if I only have 2 months left, I'm going to make the best of it no matter what age I am, especially for our children. But all this shows that we are in need of early phase trials to help our children. I was given some information and not allowed to give my resource. But our current programs that we have, that we've all been going through, are in trouble. We need help, or we're going to go backwards instead of forwards. We need grassroots help. We need to get out. We need to get to our churches, our schools. We need fundraisers. We need programs. Look at breast cancer. Look how far breast cancer has come. Look at the focus that was made. I don't want to say anything negative because it's a positive. People used to die all the time from breast cancer. And thank God now they don't. It's time to take that same focus and that same energy and put it towards pediatric cancer for our children, for the future. So people like Savannah don't have to die. So people don't have to live with long-term effects of cancer. And so people don't have to lose their families and all of the side effects that go along with cancer. We need to talk to our lawmakers. We need to talk to our administrators at our hospital levels. We need media of all kinds. We need everyone to talk to everyone they know. We need to ask people to write letters, to call their state representatives. We need to give them something to do, someone to talk to. This is how you get people to be responsive. We need to start a movement. Arkansas has 2 Arkansas Children's Hospital locations. We need to support both of them. And we can be the state that starts a movement that moves across America so we can get to a federal level. Thank you.
I know you guys have been bombarded with a lot of information. A lot of it probably doesn't make sense because thankfully you didn't have to hear those words. Just because our kids are beating the cancer doesn't mean that they're in the clear. Remission does not mean cured. They still need our help. Just the treatments that these children go through, the long-term effects that I was talking about earlier and that Shannon and Robin both touched on. My daughter at 10 years old had cataracts. At the age of 15, she had to have 2 cataract surgeries and 2 YAG laser surgeries, just so that she could be able to see. This wasn't from the cancer. It wasn't from the chemo. This was the steroids that she had to be on in order for her little body to be strong enough to receive the treatments she needed. That was just the steroids. Our kids are at a greater risk for secondary cancers. Most of them will be infertile. We need action. We need your help. I want to thank everybody for coming today. I know it's hot, and I know it may not seem like a lot to you, but seeing you guys out there makes a difference. We've already got at least double, if not triple, what we had out here last year. I'm going to give Angela a moment to just scan around. So we need your support. And if everybody will look real quick over here at Vicky. This is Jada's grandmother. Everybody give her a hand real fast because she drove a long way to be here just for this today. Jada is another one of our heroes. She was unable to be here today, but her and her brother actually had some messages. Vicky, would you like to come up here and read them? Will you bring them to me so I can? This one is from Jada's brother, Ron. Cure my sister. Hashtag Team Jada. This one is from our hero, Jada. Knowing it's there is not enough. And she's right.
Yeah.
From the mouths of babes, guys.
Just wanted to let you know, Savannah, our daughter, did pass on July 20th, 2018 this year. And it's the main reason why we carry her strength to be able to carry this message on. And we hope you all hear it.
So again, just to wrap up, I want to say thank you to every one of you. I do want to throw out a couple of special thank yous. One being to our Punisher family. I can't just say the 7th Son chapter because we have chapters from all over the states that come in to help us. To the cosplay community, you guys out here in the Iron Man suits and Scooby-Doo, Supergirl, Spider-Man, in this, 90, 100 degree weather, just standing there with us. The things that you guys do just to bring a smile to our kids' face, it doesn't go unnoticed. We need our communities to be more involved. I'm very blessed that I come from a great community. As a matter of fact, there's some of them here. It's in Cabot. A lot of them are on the Cabot's Concerned Citizens page. Most of them are jerks, they can be, lots. But they've got the biggest hearts you will ever see in your life. And they go to battle for these kids every day. And I want to thank my family. I almost made it, guys. I couldn't do what I do without the support of my husband and my children. Because at the end of the day, when I come home like this, they're the ones that bring me Reese's and turn on scary movies. They're the ones that stay up all night on those nights I can't sleep. They think I don't notice, but I do. Just so I won't be sitting there alone. You guys being here shows all of us that we're not alone. And we can't thank you enough for that. So thank you. Yeah, go right ahead. You want me to turn it back on?
It doesn't matter. Hey, for everyone here, if you have children here and you would like to have their picture made sitting on a motorcycle, we have plenty of motorcycles over here. The Widow Sons brought motorcycles down there. I guarantee you we would not have a problem letting them have their pictures made on any or all motorcycles.
I'm going to have mine taken on one.
Brandy,
Got your picture taken on.
You hush your mouth, ma'am.
Brandy, Jason's also got the photo booth.
Oh, yes. And also, and I forgot to mention this. I just, real quick, guys, let me give one more minute. I know most of you know about Heroes and Angels Comic Con. Woo! Yeah! It's our biggest fundraiser that we do every year. It has been amazing. We're going into our 3rd year, and I can't wait. We've got some great, amazing things happening. None of that would be possible without the committee that I have that backs my every play. These people work their tails off every single day for nothing. Unfortunately, some of them couldn't be here today, but we do have 2. I've got Jason and Rebecca. She also brought water, because they're always thinking. But Jason has got a photo booth, and it's also got a frame that says September 15th, 2018 Childhood Cancer Awareness Rally. I know it's a mouthful, but if you would like to have your picture taken, post it all over Facebook, tag us, use your hashtags, please do. So Jason, I'll let you, maybe right over here? Okay, so Jason will be over here if you want to get your picture made. I know you won't be able to tell which ones, but the guys with the black, they have motorcycles. So go see one of them if you want to have your picture taken on a motorcycle. Thank you guys again. You're all amazing.